Hey, everybody. Welcome to episode number 12 of Generation Viewpoint. Evan, here we are.
We are.
Happy day to you, sir.
Happy day to you
How's
as
your
well.
day? How's your day going? Okay?
Yeah.
Excellent. You know, I'm pretty excited. You know, though, I keep figuring that I keep saying that I'm excited every episode, so it hasn't worn off yet here. But I am very excited because we have yet another guest with us today.
Yeah.
Are you excited about this guest?
Yeah.
I'm specifically excited because of the topic we're going to be talking about and things that I know about him.
Yeah.
Yes. So why don't we just go ahead and introduce our guest? Evan, would you like the honors?
Everyone, welcome to the stage, Karl Peterson.
Hello.
Carl is a youth minister in our local area in one of the large churches in the area, and he is married, has a dog?
One dog.
One dog.
0 kids.
And what generation are you, Carl?
I am technically a millennial. A millennial.
Okay.
I fly under the radar by like 5 years.
By 5 years. So that makes you what age then?
I am 29, almost 30.
29. You're not even 30?
Almost 30.
Oh, my goodness. Well, all I know is while we've been sitting here getting ready to start recording this episode, we've been learning a lot about Carl, and he's got some interesting things about him that hopefully some more of those will come out along the way, and we're going to have some fun. I can't excite. Before we get started, so I'm at work this morning getting ready for my day, right? And I talk on the phone at work. So I pick up the phone, and I'm holding the phone in my hand, and I stretch just a little bit. And the next thing I know, I hear, it sounds like this. Hear that? my elbow went straight through my shirt, 9 o'clock a.m. this morning. So I think I got to stop working out. What do you think?
I can tell.
Yeah, you can tell. Ev, what do you think, huh?
No.
No, okay.
I think you should start working out.
I should start working
I've been
out.
trying to get you to the gym since like December, and you keep telling me no.
It's true. It's true. We should, so we'll have to go.
That is the great thing
Sometime.
about camera angles.
Yes.
Because you posted a picture on Facebook.
Yes, I did.
And my first thought, without even reading the status, is he's hulking out. My first thought.
I love it. I love it. Well, before we get into our main conversation today, I wanted to talk about something that I heard about and then I looked up on my own today online. All right? So I want to introduce you guys to a new concept and get your viewpoint on this one. There is a new way to do some dating, and it's called the first male odor dating service. Mail odor.
Mail odor.
So what they do is they take a white T-shirt and they mail it out to all the people who want to participate. And you're supposed to wear that T-shirt for several days with no deodorant, perfumes, or washing in any way. Then you take the T-shirt and you have in your face right now. It's awesome.
I'm going to throw up.
And then you take the T-shirt and you mail it back. They take those shirts and cut them into little pieces and send them out to the opposite gender so that you can date by choosing the aroma of the person you're interested in.
Nope.
No.
Now, before you say no, and this is why I wanted to ask you this, all right? I'm going to ask Carl first, okay, Evan? If you were to participate in now you're happily married, right?
Very.
All right, we're going to say that so you can answer this now without prejudice.
Right.
All right. So if you were to take part in some kind of service like this, what aroma would win you over?
Like, for a female or if like...
Well, yeah, female.
No, a dog.
Like,
Well, if it was a man smell.
like, am I playing the role of the woman receiving?
You're playing that you're going to get odors of women in the mail, and one of those, what if you smelled it, you'd be like, that's the one I want to know.
Bacon or cinnamon?
I love bacon.
I've never met anyone that sweats the smell of bacon.
That's true. And that's the
But
problem.
that's why you would want to know.
You would want to know. If you sweat bacon, on second thought, if they sweat bacon, they're probably...
Extremely unhealthy.
Yeah.
All I know is I would take mine and rub it into a pile of sawdust chips or something.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, my.
I would cheat hardcore. I would cheat.
Now, how many of those people are really going to be honest about that? Like, seriously, how many are not going to try to cheat and make themselves smell a little bit better than they really do?
Probably more than we're comfortable with.
I would think so.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't know. So it's open to like 100 people. It's in New York City. The people who started it say that they don't expect great results, but it is a fun experiment to try. So I heard about that the other day and looked it up, and I thought it was amazing. So
if you're single and in New York, here is a new service just for you.
go sniff it out. Duh! Evan, come on, man.
Dad
Another one of
jokes
those
are
faces.
literally awful.
I got to tell you, if you
was
guys are listening to this podcast, you have to check out our YouTube channel and see these just to see Evan's faces every time I talk. I don't know what the deal is, man. I love it. So
Oh,
that was
my
awesome.
word.
But, well, we're going to roll right into one of the main topics here that we were excited to have you on. And today our main theme is going to be about heroes, people that we look up to and why. Now, before I introduce why we chose you, why do you think that we chose you to be part of this particular podcast?
I would assume it's because I spend a lot of time in the superhero genre.
That would be exactly right. In fact, I saw a picture the other day of your wife where she had like a Superman shirt on or something.
Yeah. And
Okay.
She was. So there's the new show Supergirl.
Yeah.
It's out on NBC Monday nights.
Okay.
And we love it. It's one of our shows. And so she said they did a day at work, superhero day at work. She said, I want to dress up like Supergirl and I want to do this picture.
Yeah.
So she did the whole thing. We did the picture. I got like 115 likes, 8 comments. So it like blew up my Facebook.
That's awesome, man. That is so cool.
Yeah, it was a blast.
I love it. So you've loved superheroes since you were a young little boy.
Yep.
Okay.
All the time.
What is your favorite superhero of all of them?
It would be Superman.
And why is that?
It's because he always does what's right.
Oh. So you don't like him particularly for his abilities?
No.
Okay.
No.
Don't all superheroes do what's right, though?
Well, you got guys like Batman who will break your arm and call you names.
Okay.
Superman doesn't do that. Superman,
Yeah.
He just shoots you with lasers.
He's just yeah.
but not if you're like, not if you can't take it, or
Right.
he pulls his punches a little bit. But he also, he has all this power all the time.
Yes.
He can never turn it off.
Yeah.
And so even when he is shaking your hand, he's holding back. When he's at work during the day,
Yeah.
writing on a piece of paper,
Yeah.
he's holding back, and he has to constantly be in check. Otherwise,
So he's like the one superhero who's from the softer side of Sears kind of thing.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
you remember that ad
I
campaign.
do not.
I remember it clearly because at the local mall, there was a lady who stood outside the door, and every time you walked in and out, she'd be like, welcome to the softer side of Sears. And you're like, this is really soft. I like this. So
That's awesome.
Sorry. But anyways, so Superman is your fave.
Superman's my
And
favorite.
there's a reason why. And it's because he is always doing the right thing. So I guess for heroes, Ev, let's start with you here. If you were to think of a hero right now for yourself, who would be a hero of yours?
The first one that comes to mind would probably be Donald Miller.
Okay. Now, why would you choose him? That's what I'm really interested in is superheroes. And why are we choosing them?
Just because the book that he came out with, Scary Close, has impacted my life so much that
Okay.
I just looked up to him because of the book.
Right. So it's, do you want to be like him
Yes.
or are you just inspired by him?
I want to be like him, and
Okay.
I'm inspired by him.
Now, why do you want, I'm just going to keep drilling down on this. It's like
Oh,
question.
boy.
Why do you want to be like him?
Just because I see everything that he's done,
Yeah.
and I want to accomplish all of that
Okay.
in my life.
Okay. All right. And things that he's done would be writing books or inspiring people or
Well,
what are you impressed by?
Inspired people. He's created great relationships in his life, and he also runs a very successful business.
Yes. Okay. I love it. And I think it's interesting how we all pick different heroes and the reasons why. Now, outside of superheroes, Carl,
Yeah.
who would be a hero of yours that you would love to emulate yourself after if you could choose every day?
You know, I look at some of the ones that just naturally come up to my mind would be a Doug Fields or an Andy Stanley.
Okay.
Somebody who's
Yep.
inside of my field, but has kind of reached the top, or what I view as the top,
Okay.
a respected kind of person. But
Okay.
then the other side of me pulls towards my mentor, Jamie, and just the impact that he's had in my life, the other people's lives,
Yeah.
and just how, I grew up without a dad.
Yeah.
And he he took me under his wing. He cared for me. He loved for me.
Yep.
And taught me kind of how it was to be a man. And to me, that's
awesome.
That's awesome.
No,
that's
it really
a
is.
hero.
If we could all do that for people, that'd be amazing. And that's one of the things that started this podcast was, making an impact in other people's lives. And Evan and ours having a great relationship and wanting other people to have that same thing. I mean, that's really what inspires us to do this stuff, right, Ev?
Yeah.
So let me ask you a question then, Karl. So did your heroes, have they changed since you were younger? Like as you grew up, and that you're only 29, all
Yes.
right? But that's significant life change from when you were 13, right? So have your heroes changed? And if they have, why did that change, do you think?
Oh, that's a really good. Now it's like remembering, like, okay, when I was young,
Yeah.
what heroes did I have?
Yeah. Did you have a picture of a hero on the wall or something like that?
I had like Spider-Man and SpongeBob on my wall.
SpongeBob.
SpongeBob.
I love it. That's awesome.
Great role model right there.
It explains more.
Yes,
That's
it
awesome.
does.
It really does. Yep.
But I do like as I look, and I think the qualities that I look at pull me out more, less
Okay.
than it used to be more about the accomplishments. So I
Right.
really enjoyed Doug Fields because of the spot he held, because of where he was at.
Okay.
But now as I look, it's more like this dude is legit. He's a family guy. He loves his wife, and he's always talking about how he wants to be a better dad. And I'm
Yeah.
like, that's it. That's what I want right there. That's
awesome.
so it's like the qualities have shifted
Yeah.
as I've gotten older.
I got to be honest. I'm going to have to Google Doug Shields because I don't even know who Doug Shields is.
Doug Fields.
Doug
I'm sorry.
Fields. Is that you might have said that and I just
Yeah.
misheard it. I don't even know who he is. I know who Andy Stanley was, but I don't know who
Yeah.
Doug is. So I'm going to have to Google him and find out some more about him, especially if you're impressed by him. you
Oh,
know?
yeah.
So, well, that's awesome. I don't. So my heroes as I was a young guy, my main hero was Donald Trump, and totally honest about that. And as a young kid, I was probably 12 or 13, I started studying money and finance. I would buy the big 3-inch thick tax guide every year and read it as a 13-year-old. And they were expensive, but I was interested in how to make money and how money worked. So I always wanted to work for Donald Trump. So I wrote Donald Trump a letter every year begging for an internship position. As a teenager, I would write him and I would tell him I graduate in such and such year, and I would like to work for you as an internship. And every year I would write that letter. I graduated. He never responded. I went to college. Every year in college, I wrote him a letter. I would like to come work for you. I'm going to graduate from college X date. And I never got a letter back from him. But he was a hero of mine. Now, he was a hero of mine for money and business savvy and things like that. While he was a hero of mine for those, though, I watched what happened in his personal life, and I'm not in any place to make a judgment of that.
Right.
But I saw some things that I was like, he's not such a hero of mine on those. You know what I mean? So it's kind of changed over time. So now, do you think that if we were sitting here with your father or your grandfather, Karl, or your grandfather, right, would their heroes right now be different than ours sitting here?
I think so. I think you look at like my grandfather specifically fought in World War II.
Yep.
Enlisted when he was 16, lied about his age kind of guy, flew fighter jets.
Yeah.
He was an ace fighter pilot, which was really cool. And I think he would have probably had looked at somebody that maybe he served with or did something with.
Yeah.
That is like, that guy's my hero. Where I feel like we kind of look at these famous people,
Yes.
if that makes sense.
It makes a lot
Yeah.
of sense. And I think that's what I was thinking in my head. I was just wondering if it was just me that thinks that way, you know? So even, I'm impressed, Evan, that when you were saying Donald Miller before, it wasn't that you want to be like a famous person. It's that you want to be like a person who makes a difference.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that's the right way to do it, is to set your sights on somebody who is making a difference in people's lives versus somebody who's making a difference in their lives, but we're thrilled to watch them and we want to be like them for selfish desire. Right. I mean, I think that's a great way to look at it.
Oh, totally.
You know?
I mean,
but that's not how it is for the rest of the world.
no.
You
I
know?
think when I was Evan's age, I was leaning probably a little more towards your side where
Yeah.
I wanted to be success. I wanted to be the guy who was the top in his field.
Or live under the sea
Or yes.
with SpongeBob. One of the two.
In a pineapple.
In a pineapple.
Right. Explains my addiction to pineapple.
I love it.
All coming together.
Yeah. I find it very fascinating, the topic of heroes. I really do. So
There's such an important, I think, like part when I look at my mentor and Jamie and just what he did for me and what he pushed me to become, setting up that bar. It's super important. And I think just like even with Donald Trump, it's just like here is the bar, and this is where I'm striving towards, and hopefully someday surpassing.
That's correct. Yeah. Awesome. Well, I think we pretty much beat that one up. So I want to ask you a question. As somebody who has learned and spent time on teaching students and even guiding small group leaders or parents when raising their kids, I have a question for you.
Shoot.
Okay. The question is, when your child asks you to do something and you say no, and they say why, and as a parent, I say, 'cause I said so. When they do something wrong, is it my fault or their fault? Do you follow me?
I think so.
So
I think
they
so.
ask something, and I say no, they say why, I say, 'cause I said so, and I don't explain why.
Right.
Then they go ahead and they do something wrong. Is it
Right.
my fault because I didn't slow down and take the time to explain it? Or is it still their fault because they did what was wrong? Who gets the fall? Evan's staring at me. Ev, I don't know why you're staring at me like with those angry eyes there.
Is this
Because it's
like,
an obvious answer.
Is it an obvious
It
answer?
is obvious.
Wait, from which point of view? From the student answer or from the parent side?
Both.
Okay.
I mean, of course, I'm going to take my side, but
Okay.
also looking at it like if I was a parent and I did that, I think I would still think the same thing.
Okay. So whose fault is it? Who gets
It's
the blame?
the parents.
It's the parents.
it's the parents' fault?
Did you hear
Even
that?
though they did the wrong thing.
This is why I asked this question, Evan. Because it's not the parents' fault. It's the student's fault for doing what they were told not to do. How can that be the parents' fault just because they didn't explain what they said?
Okay, Dad.
Don't make me rip my other elbow out of my shirt. That's all I gotta
I know
say.
it's been a long time since you were a kid, especially since you were my age.
Okay. All right.
But try to think back, okay?
I remember.
When a parent when you ask a parent,
Yes.
can I do this? And they say no. And you say, why?
Right.
You want an answer why you can't do it. And they
Right.
say, because I said so.
Right.
You're automatically like, that's not a good enough answer. I'm going to undermine you.
I'm not disagreeing with you, and that's why when you guys ask questions, I always give you an explanation.
Yeah.
Don't just say that. But the
But
question
that doesn't make it okay.
Thank you, Carl. Explain, Carl.
Like if I put out $20 and you say, hey, can I have that? And I say no, and you say why? And I say, 'cause. That doesn't say, well, I don't like that answer.
Yeah.
And
Wait a minute. I just made a fascinating connection. So when Evan was learning how to drive,
yeah.
one of the things that he was not the best at was stopping at stop signs. And now I know why. Because the stop sign said stop.
Yeah.
He said why. It
Yeah.
said because I said stop.
Yep.
And he said, I'm just going to drive right through it because that's no explanation.
Yeah.
It just came to me right
Yep.
now. Evan, you finally make sense.
Yeah.
What?
And I'm not gonna
Mayonnaise.
say-
Mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise.
Code word.
I'm not gonna-
Mayonnaise.
I'm not going to say you're alone in that because living in Pennsylvania where
Yeah.
the on-ramp is 10 feet,
Yes.
there's always a stop sign
Yes.
before I get on the highway
Yeah.
with a semi barreling down the road.
I'm telling you.
And I look and I say, well, that is the stupidest place for a stop sign. It makes no sense. And my natural inclination is to zoom right past it.
I love it, man.
And so,
Ev.
doesn't make it right, though.
Hey, Ev.
What?
Are you there?
Yes.
I love you, Ev. Very good. Well, we're running down here on time. You know what? To close, I just want to ask you one question, Carl.
All right.
What is one thing that you wish you had paid more attention when it was happening? Or had paid more attention to through your years?
For a specific, like, time,
Anything. Something that you were like, man, I wish I would have paid more attention and I wish I wouldn't have missed that.
I wish I would have slowed down my marriage proposal.
Oh,
to my
interesting.
wife. It went,
Okay.
It just seemed to just
Go so fast.
go so fast. I
Yeah.
put the ring in the back of a Superman comic book, the one where him and Lois Lane get married.
Yeah.
and we were
That's
supposed
cute.
to.
That is cute. Yeah.
We read it together.
Yeah.
And then it got to the last page, and I took the ring, I got down, and I handed it to her. It felt like it took all of like 10 seconds.
Wow.
But we didn't get it recorded, or it wasn't no fireworks or anything like that. So I wish I would have.
That's cool, though.
Yeah.
That's great. Wow, what a great way. Kudos to you, sir.
you.
You are
Thank you.
certainly a superhero.
Thank you.
So, well, that's a wrap to episode number 12. Karl, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
This has
It's
been
fun.
awesome. I hope you'll be back with us again sometime.
Anytime.
For
This was
sure.
a blast.
Cool, man. So we thank all you guys for joining us once again. We remind you that we'll have our show notes up with just a little recap of this, and I'll probably put some links to some of the names that we mentioned about heroes, just for people like me who don't even know who one of them mentioned was. So, and we want to remind you to join us on our Facebook group. A lot of conversations are going on there. Feedback is happening there. We'll be throwing out some questions for you guys to answer, so we know what you guys want us to talk about, because we'll pretty much talk about anything. Huh, Ev?
Yep.
Right? Hey, Ev, how about a little uke on the way out? Can you do it? Wait, what was the word that he wanted? A ditty.
A ditty.
We want a ditty.
We
want a ditty.
I don't know a ditty, though.
I know. We're defining it, though, right now. Whatever you play right now is forever going to be known as a ditty.
But it's like a song.
Okay? Play a song. See you guys later, and here you go. Ta-da.
See ya. Remember, we're on iTunes and Stitcher, and as always, thanks for being awesome.